Does your desktop look like this? I really hope it doesn't, because that would drive me absolutely crazy. But if it does, don't worry, because this video is for you. In this video, I'm going to show you and share with you my system that I use to organize all the files and all the photos on my computer after a photo shoot, in order to make sure that I can find those photos easily after the shoot, and also to make sure that everything is backed up properly. I went back and I looked at how many photos I took last year in 2017, and that number is a lot bigger than I thought it was. I took more than 25,000 photos last year. Can you believe it? I didn't when I did the math. But even with that many photos, I am still able to find a specific photo shoot or even a specific photo quite easily, because I've organized everything just so. So if you're interested in finding out my system, just keep on watching, because I'm going to hop onto my computer and show you exactly how I do it. Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Emilie Smith, and before we move ahead into the content, I just want to make sure that you go ahead and you subscribe to my channel. I post every Tuesday and I share videos about how to grow your photography skills and grow your photography business. So I would hate for you to miss out on any more cool videos, so subscribe right now and let's hop right into the content. Okay, here we go. So the very first thing I would do before importing a photo shoot from my camera is create a brand new parent folder. Now these parent folders each hold one individual photo shoot, whether that be an engagement session, a wedding, or a branding shoot, whatever kind of shoot. I have one specific for each individual photo shoot. So I name all these photos in a very specific way in order for them to stay in chronological order when I'm looking at them like this, and just for it to be a lot easier for me to find each photo shoot later on down the road. So let's go ahead and name this one for the example. I start off with the year, and then the month, and the date, and then I would put the couple's name or the person's name, and the event. So was it an engagement, a wedding, newborn shoot, whatever, I would put that name right here. Okay, next step, I would go ahead, open this folder, and inside of this folder, I'm going to create another handful of subfolders. So I name all these very consistently again. So couple's name, the event, and then I would name the first one unedited. So this is where I would import and drag in all the raw files. Now let's create a new one. Same thing, names, and then this one I would call 5-starred. So in here, once I start culling all the raw photos that are in here, I use Photo Mechanic to cull. I would drag all my keepers, so all the photos I want to then go ahead and edit, I would drag them into this 5-starred folder. So now I know that after they've been culled, what is in here are photos that I don't want. And what is in here, still just raw files, but these are all the good ones that I'm then going to import into Lightroom to edit. Now, another folder, I'm going to call this one edited. So once I've edited all these 5-starred raw files in Lightroom, I'm going to export high-res JPEGs and save them inside of this folder. And then, last one, I promise, I'm going to call this one edited stomped. So I use Blog Stomp to resize all of my photos to make them look good and make them ready for my blog and for sharing on social media. So once I've exported these high-res files, which are used for archiving and used for delivering to my couple, I would then pass them through Blog Stomp, and I would save those resized ones from Blog Stomp in here. So now I know that I have my raw files that I have decided that are keepers, my edited high-res JPEGs, and my edited resized for web JPEGs. Next up, let's talk about my file nomenclature. So I'm actually going to go back and find a real photo shoot because I don't actually have any photos in here that I created for the example. So let's go to Jerica and Addison. So here you can see I have the same 4 folders that I just created back in the example. So I only ever rename my high-res JPEGs and my resized JPEGs. I don't bother to rename all my raw files because honestly, I'm the only person that's ever going to see these, and I only keep them for 6 months after the wedding or after the shoot, so renaming these would just be a little bit of a waste of my time. So let's just look at how I rename all my high-res JPEGs when I export them from Lightroom. Let's just go through the system that I use to name all of these files. So the first item here is a sequence number. You can see here it starts at 1, and for this session it goes all the way down to 183. I just keep a sequence number because that ensures that all my photos are kept in order in the order that they were photographed. Next up in the file name are my couple's name and then a few keywords. So this will change depending on what the photo shoot is, but I had keywords specific to the location and what the event was. So if I photographed a wedding at a certain venue that I want to try and rank for, or maybe photograph that again in the future, I'm going to add the name of that venue and the city that I shot in. That way, if a bride or if a couple searches wedding photos at X, Y, and Z venue in Google image search, my photos have a chance of showing up. She then clicks on that photo and ends up on my website. Then I just put my business name, again for SEO purposes and just to keep it nice and organized. And then I also make sure to keep the original file number at the end here. This is the file number that was in the original raw file, and this helps me if ever I wanted to go back and reference what the raw file was for this specific image. I know to look for this number because otherwise I would have to go through all the raw files to find this exact photo if I didn't know what the original raw file was named. So let me show you what that looks like. Let's take photo number 40 here, for example. The original file number was 1010, and you can see it's this photo right here. Now let's go back into the 5-starred folder where I keep all the raw files, and now you can see that these CR2 files, which are my raw files, also have numbers attached to them. So let's just find that same one, the 1010. Here it is, and if we look at it, it is the exact same photo but in raw format. So if ever I wanted to find that exact raw file again, it is super easy for me to locate it. Lastly, let's quickly talk about backup. I use 3 different methods of backup because you can never be too safe. One of my worst nightmares is to lose a couple's wedding photos, and I can be assured that with 3 different methods of backup, that will virtually never happen. So the very first method that I use is my computer's hard drive. So I don't keep the photos on my iMac hard drive forever, but I do keep them on here for at least 6 months. So you can see that my last photo shoot here in 2017 was in May. So that means that anything before that, I've already moved onto my external hard drive. So this brings me right into my second method of backup. So that is my external hard drive. So I use a cloud-based hard drive, which means I can access it over a network, but this would be the exact same thing if you were using like a USB plugged in hard drive or just a regular hard drive. For me, because it's the cloud, I can access it with a browser, but the concept is the exact same thing. So immediately after I import all the raw files from my memory card, I have created the parent folder in here on my iMac hard drive. I will also copy this folder and paste it or drag it, make a copy onto my hard drive. That way, now I'm safe to go ahead and erase my memory cards because I know that I have a copy of those raw files on my iMac hard drive, and I also have a copy now on my external hard drive. And then as soon as I'm done editing the entire photo shoot and I've exported all those high-res JPEGs and all those blog stomped JPEGs, I'm also going to go ahead, copy those folders from my iMac hard drive and bring them onto my external hard drive. So now I have two identical copies on two different hard drives. And now this brings me into my third and last method of backup, which is my cloud service. So I use CrashPlan for my cloud-based backup, and I absolutely love it because it's always now running in the background. I never have to worry about dragging or copying anything into it. It's seriously just always looking at my computer, seeing if there's anything new, and then backing it up onto that cloud. So having these both kinds of backup, physical hard drives and cloud-based, gives me peace of mind that everything is extra safe. Because as much as it's convenient to have everything on local hard drives, you have to think of the worst possible scenarios. So I'm thinking if my house burns down, or if I'm robbed and someone comes in for some reason, steals all of my hard drives. If that happened, I would have nothing left. But because of the cloud, now even if all my physical stuff was taken away, I still have all my files saved up on the cloud that I can access at any time from any computer simply by logging in. And then I also use smaller travel hard drives when I work out of town. So let's say I'm in Jasper or in Banff for a week or so for a couple shoots. I also make backups on those hard drives, and then when I come back home at my office, I'm able to back everything up properly onto these three different locations. Okay guys, that is it. That is my system. That is a system that I use to sort, file, organize, and back up all of my photos. So I really hope you start implementing a system of your own, whether you copy this exact system or you modify it or create a brand new one to fit your needs. As long as you have one, that is what's important. So I post every Tuesday, and I'll be back in a week with another great video to help you grow your photography skills or grow your photography business. So I'll see you next time.